I'm back in the shop again. I was attempting to cut some conduits to the exact same length, and I mean they have to be dead on exact, and they're just slightly off. I need them to be, I think it was 44 inches long. Yeah, 44 inches long. This one's 44, just over 44. They're not exactly exact, and I think that's the correct length. Let me get this is the one I compare it to. This is a wooden leg for a folding table I make. And they're both long enough. It's just a matter of they're straight enough, but I need two more. And I need them to be exactly the same length. The problem is getting them exactly the same length is not possible. And then I 3D printed this because it's got a 3/8 hole, and I need to drill a 3/8 hole in the middle of this pipe. And with this on the pipe with that angle on there, you can actually center it. So I need to mark out from this end where I need that hole at, and I need to drill a 3/8 hole in both these. And what I think I can do is I can bolt them together into a pair after I get them drilled and fix that end on the grinder. Now, as far as the other one, I will just cut them a little bit long, drill them and bolt them, and then I will cut them off at the same time so that each one of the legs is parallel. I'm probably going to bolt all four of them together so that I can keep it the same as these ones. But for right now, I gotta go get some stuff cut, so I'll come back to this in a bit. Alright, I have them cut to basically the same length. That end's all evened up, so they're all the same length on that end. They're a little bit off on this end. I'll have to cut them all at one time. I got them clamped to the table right now. I'm going to mark out where I want my hole to go through. So using the other leg in the as a reference, and I go from the top down, I want my hole to be at 21.5, which I think is the same direction either way. 21.5, yes. So now I need to make a mark down here at 21.5. So we make a mark on this one, get my square, there's my halfway mark on every one of them. Should be 21.5 all the way down. All right, let's make sure these are all 21. 21.5, 21.5, 21.5, yep, they're all the same. So now I just need to take this thing and line it up on 21.5 and drill a 3/8 hole 4 times. Can't do it here because it'll be on the table. Okay, I'm back in the shop again. I'm trying to make, a few years ago I made a folding table for my van to do working on panels and stuff about yay tall. Made out of wood, wooden dowels and everything else. I have made several of these, given a couple of them away, and the last one I made I gave to my daughter. She also works in the alarm industry, and so I gave it to her to use. So I need to make a new one. I thought about making it out of aluminum rectangular stock, but it's expensive. I have conduit laying around from when I did conduit work around my house. I drilled these holes, as you can see, completely through on the drill press. I forgot to hit record. Let me show you a reenactment. I took the pipe, I slid it in here, turned on the laser, lined it up. I'm not going to turn the drill on because that'd be silly. And I pulled down on the handle and I drilled through this hole all the way down through this secondary hole until it was like that. And then I let it up, turned off the laser, and I did that 4 separate times. So now I have 4 pipes with holes in them in pretty much relatively the same exact spot, give or take a 30-second. Anyway, so now I need to do is I need to get a bolt and run completely through them and tighten it down so that I can keep them all the same length and then trim them all to the exact same length. So I will get that set up and then we'll come back and we'll record that. All right, I'm back. I got them all bolted together down here. Let me show you, and I'm going to see if I can cut these off as straight as possible. So I got a porta band here. I'm going to sit this on here. I'm going to cut them off right there. All right, right here. This thing's a beast. As you can see, they're all straight and pretty much the same length now. The other end is ever so slightly close to being straight. They're ever so slightly off. But as long as I use these 2 legs on one side and these 2 legs on the other side, it's not going to be an issue. Because they're only like a 32nd or 64th off, something like that. So the way I was able to clamp them and hold them so I could get them all 4 cut at the same time was I used a piece of ball thread that I'm going to use for the cross brace in the center eventually. Basically found a nut and I put one of the lock nuts on and I just tightened it up to where they can't move. And then I just cut them off. So now I got to mark them so I know that this one is one, and two. So by marking them with a Sharpie, I will get the paired up legs in the right pairs. So now I can unbolt this. So I can unbolt this bolt. I can undo this nut. And now I know which way is the top, and I know which pairs go together. So the next thing I need to do is I need to drill the tops. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to join them yet, because these 2, say, are the inside ones, and then these other ones will be the outer legs, so that when it closes, it'll close flat like this, instead of being like up like that. So I got to clean the ends of these up. I got to find my tool I just bought for that. I sat it down here somewhere and I don't know where I put it. Let me find that. Let me find that tool and I'll get back in here and I will straighten these, clean these up. Then we will get back on the drill press and we will drill the ends of these things. I can't just let it go completely through because it will hit on the other leg when they come together. And I can't take a nut and put it inside there. I mean, I can, they'll fit, but the wrench won't. The wrench that fits on those will not go inside there, so I have no way of tightening the bolt other than putting the bolt in, getting it tight using pliers or something. I haven't figured out a way yet. And then after I get it tight, put a washer on it, put the other arm on it, and then run one of these nuts all the way down, which would be a pain in the butt because it's a lock nut. It's a nylock nut. It's got this nylon bushing in there. So I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do that yet. So that's the next step. I'm going to get a piece of this cut down to the 16-inch mark. I got to put a nut on it so I can run it off and keep it, you know, straight. So I got to get it down to past 16, and then when I take it off, it'll straighten up the threads, because, you know, the threads are good on this thing right now. But once I get down to all right, so now we get it down far enough. I will mark it to 16 inches. That's the inside measurement. Excuse me, that is the outside measurement of this center one. Oh, and that's another thing. Putting a bolt in the center of this thing down low. Yeah, I don't need to. I guess I can do those on the outside. So I need to add the thickness of 2 of these. So 16 plus 2 of these, one for the outside of each edge. So we need to make it right there. So I need to cut it off right here. So that I don't forget it, I'm covering that other one up. All right, let's see if we can get this thing clamped in here and cut. All right, so we're going to cut this off right there. I'm not, I'm going to move this out of the way first. All right, now that I have it cut off, the edge is all scuffed up. So I have to see if it'll come off easily. Yeah, okay, so it will. But I'm going to take it into the grinder and I'm going to kind of clean that up a little bit first. So I'm going to turn the camera off because I can't get the camera in where the grinder is. All right, I went in there and ground it down. It slides off real easily now, and if I take it completely out, I can easily put it back on because I got it ground down to where it's nice. It just looks like the other end now, except for without the yellow spot on it. So anyway, now I need to get some of this stuff out of the way so I can. So what I want to do now is, one, get the right size wrench for these lock nuts. Okay, I'm back in the shop. I got my conduits all drilled and cut to length, and I got all my parts and stuff I need here to put the legs together. Let's look at that, and how does I do that? So I got 4 lengths of conduit here, and I got some washers and some nuts and a lock nut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 of these nuts on this all thread. I'm going to run them back a ways. And then I'm going to put it through a piece of pipe, put a washer on, then another piece of pipe, then we're going to put on the nylock bolt nut. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tighten this as much as we can beforehand. And then we're going to pull this tight, putting that one over to there. Using 2 wrenches, we're going to lock these 2 together. And then we can leave this wrench on here and tighten this one to where there's not too much slop in it. And actually will still spin. Okay, I got one side done. We need to do the other side now. So let's slide this all over. Start by getting the two nuts I'm going to lock together on. The reason I get to use it instead of Nylox is because Nylox will not spin on backwards because of the nylon bushing. Then we get one of our pipes, slide it through, put the washer on, get the other pipe, and then we have our legs put together. Now the bottoms are over here, and they're fairly close to the right size. We get the ones are the insides and the twos are the outsides. And if I stand this up and I spread the legs apart, and I don't know if you can see this over here, it's going to kind of work like that. Probably need to tighten those up just a tad bit more. But it's going to be like that. Let me tighten these up a little bit more. So that's basically what it's going to look like. And then we have 4 more like this that are going to bolt on here, here, and then another set out here and out here. And that's what will be the top of this thing. So that's what I got to get done next. I got to drill these so I can bolt those on. This is the basis for the table. And for what the top of the table is going to be, it's those 4 bars. And then I'm going to use these aluminum panels that I'm going to cut down to size. They're going to go across the top here. And part of them will be on the bars on this side, and part of them will be on the bars on this side. And when it comes together, it will make a tabletop. Yes, those are getting cut down. So for now, we'll just fold this up and lean it out of the way. All right, I'm back in my shop again. Again, I'm working on my table for my work van. I've been waiting on some all thread to come in. Unfortunately, the only thing I could find is metric, which comes in handy because I had these, ordered these, what they call cabinet bolts, I believe they're called, It's basically like a long barrel bolt that goes over. Wow, that one's not going together so well. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Fits on there, and then it's got you can see it's got like flanges on each edge to grab and pull something together. I'm hoping my metric threads for this will fit in there, and we're going to find out right now if it's the same thread. And it is, luckily. Okay. Why that's important? Well, let me explain it to you. We're going to take my legs, and I'm going to move the camera down so you can see what I'm talking about. So, this is the top of the table height. This one needs to span across there. Not out to this one, just through this one. So I got to cut it down to about that long right there. Got to cut about 2 inches off of it. Drill a hole in the side for this thing to go in over here. A smaller hole over here. And then I have a arm. One of the arms is right here. And I've already got 2 holes in that, so it's going to go through that. And then there'll be a hole there that's the same size as this one, which is like 15/16. And then I have to drill a 3/4 inch for this thing on the other side over here. And then when I put this in and I bolt it up, if I can get it to work right. When it's like that and this closes, the other bolt won't hit. And the reason it's not going to hit is going to have to stack like 2 or 3 spacers like this, washers in between there, down here, to keep these bars apart enough to where when these are together, there's a gap like that. So that's one of the things I have to do. But first, I have to drill a small hole on this side, a large hole on that side on both of these. I have to cut this down to size, and then I have to rig this up and get it ready to go. And then I have to cut another one of these to 18 inches and drill it out. So it's going to be a little bit of drilling and stuff here. So that's my explanation of what's going on. Let me get this out of the way so we can get working on this. I'm getting ready to drill the hole in the ends of the legs for the arms to hook into. And I bought a tool. This one right here has a little bubble level on it, and you can adjust that bubble level to 0. And if I take my conduit and I put this on there and hold it till it's, move this till it's level when it's in a vise, and smack it, it puts a dent. And then I set the gauge to 90, which puts the bubble, instead of here, over to one side or the other. And then when I do it level that way, I punch it, it gets my opposite direction holes drilled. So it works pretty good. I've been playing, testing it out on things, and then I had to get the vise centered. So first we're going to get the legs drilled. So I've got one of the legs already set up, ready to go. Laser's on the center. It's 3/8 of an inch from the end. And the reason I can't do it just 3/8 of the end on this one is because this one's a little bit longer than that one, but it's got to line up. Does it really have to line up? No, it really doesn't have to, I guess. But I want it to. No, it doesn't have to, because this one's going to be for the outer leg and this one's going to be for the inner leg with the all thread. It has to line up with the other side, which they're the same size. Let's get drilling. That's the first one. Now, since I have this one sitting here, and it's obviously the same direction, Get my hammer. That's the mark. Now, take my caliper that is up here and make sure that that is 3/8 of an inch. It is. Let's take this and make a deeper dent. All right, let's release this one and get this one up there. So to get this in the vise like I need it to, I need to be able to push down over here because I'm right-handed. All right, let's see if it touches down in the right spot. Yep, okay, let's drill this one. All right, so far so good. Now, if those two are correct, that 8mm should go through there. We'll find out in a second. Let's see if we can get it through there now. Probably gonna regret doing this. Boom, she's through. So that is going to be, there'll be two arms like this in here that will actually be that way when I get it done, the table done. So like that and like that. They're not quite the right length yet. They got to be shortened. I have to get these two drilled and those two drilled. Then I got to clamp all four of those together. And after I get them clamped together, then I can use the portaband and I can cut them to length and get them all the same length. That's the goal, at least, I hope. So anyway, let me get these things back apart, and then I will get these in the drill press and drill them. Get them marked and done. We'll be back after that. Okay, we got these all drilled. I'm going to put them all on one of the pieces of all thread. Put a nut on this end. Put that on first. Now that I have them on the table flat, what I did, and I forgot to film it, and I measured those little panels to see how many panels are going to go up here, and I think it's 5. 2 on this one and 2 on this one. These will be one side and be the other side. I took this, I made a line across, so I knew where I was going to stop with that. Then I took a piece of angle iron. So to mark the tops of these, what I did was I used a piece of chalk. And I took the chalk, say this is the chalk, and I took the chalk and I went like this, and I left a chalk line on the tops. Just on the tops, not on the sides or anything else. And then I took them apart, or I took them like this. I spun two of them over, and then I made a line. This is where I need to drill the holes for those other panels that are going to be the tabletop. After that, I flipped it back over. Loosened it up, took my bolt off. And I removed all the arms. And now I have a line, purple line, you can see right there, where I need to drill. So now that I have that done, actually let me put these back on this all thread. Just for this next little step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this thing on here and we'll hold something behind it to keep it from, need something flat and square. I think this is tall enough. Yeah, so I do this and then I can mark it like that. Alright, so that's our marks. This is where I need to find center of each one of these, which is going to be .45 millimeters. So that's 22.5 millimeters, so 22.5 millimeters. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably make me a spacer that's exactly 22.5 millimeters. And then I can just lay it on here, mark it, drill it, mark it, drill it. Because I got to be pretty accurate with these, otherwise these won't line up right. So that's the basic principle of how I'm going to mark it out so that I can drill them. After I get those drilled, I got to put the metal panels clamped together, which is easy, by the way, because they have these lovely little clips on the end that clip into a piece of channel like this. So I can just clip all of these into a piece of channel to keep them all flat. I can lay them down, lay these on top. Actually, I'll be laying the whole entire table upside down on it with the holes lined up where I want them. And I'll be taking the drill bit that I'm drilling, which I'm going to be using riv nuts. I bought me a riv nut tool and a bunch of riv nuts just for this project. So this will be getting used pretty soon too. And then I'm going to basically drill holes in the pipes all the way through. I have to go get some, I think it's 1/4-20 is what I'm going to use. Got to look, make sure 1/4-20 is going to be small enough. I'm going to get some 1/4-20, either 1/4-20 or 6/32 bolts, and then I will be bolting up through the pipe, through the end of these from the back side, or whatever side, doesn't matter, into the riv nut that I'm going to put in this. So once I get the riv nuts in there and I get this all ready to go, we'll get that done. But right now I have been editing this film out, and it's getting a little bit on the long-winded side. I like to keep my videos around 30 or less minutes. So I'm going to get this video added in, what I'm doing right here, and then we will be a part 2. So stick around for part 2. And if you like these videos, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you get notified when you get new videos coming out. I'm a little bit behind on this time. I should have had one out a couple, 2-3 weeks ago. But, you know, hey, I work a job and I do this, so it's kind of tough to do. So, anyway, thanks for watching.